Xxtractz, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Xxtractz, and today we are on episode 4 of the coffee session. Um, my wife just made me the most nicest coffee today. So, actually, Asikolapo, if you are returning, please don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. And to talk about the matters of today, I've been watching a couple of content from other content creators, and I've picked up like a weird behavior, right? Guys, I know some of us, we're doing this to get monetized, and we're doing this, to get the views. We're doing this so that we can engage with people. And I've picked up there's a lot of people that are probably feeding people wrong information. I'm not gonna name drop, but this is just like a warning. Don't just take everything or consume everything that you see on the internet. And this could be something or one of them where I could be lying to you guys, but let's be honest. So, what was it about? It was about careers, man. Like someone mentioned something about, how important it is for people to just do software development. I'm gonna be frank and honest with you. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. Don't do it because you're looking for a job. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. Because, as much as we're not working in a critical space or in a life or death space, the space can get contaminated by people who don't actually love tech. They're just doing it for the paycheck and for the salary. What you'll see happen in most cases with people that do that is that they struggle to keep up. They have a lot of imposter syndrome. They become depressed, and then they just do things that they're not supposed to do. That is my honest opinion. So if you want to do this, just do it. Make sure you do it right. Make sure you do it because you want to. Make sure you do it because you would want to become a Java developer or a software engineer tomorrow. So that is just my advice to you. And yeah, I know I haven't been doing this in a while. I know it's been a minute, guys. But anyways, the subject matter, AI. AI is crazy. The hype for AI is crazy. You know, my manager's gonna kill me for this, but they 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 feeding us the AI, man. Like we need to use AI tools to do one, two, three, four, five. And from my understanding, guys, I stand to be corrected. Most of this AI were trained based on, you know, uh, specific data. That's why if we go check when was the model tested, it was probably 2024, 2023, 2022. So it will not have the latest data, and it will not know the latest software or know the latest framework that you're using, which is something that I've seen. And I just got mad. I know someone will be like, no man, Grok will go and scrape the internet, but do the companies use Grok? No. So anyways, that is not the subject matter, but the most important thing is um the way the hype is like going over the moon. I feel like the crash is gonna be bad. The crash in people are gonna start putting in wrong data. For example, people are no longer going to Stack Overflow. Remember, with Stack Overflow data, an answer that is being answered, and a question that's being answered on Stack Overflow stays there forever, right? And your models, they use that data from Stack Overflow to answer some of your questions. If you have that understanding, you will then understand the importance of not depending on AI, but also going to read documentation on your own and try to use Stack Overflow as much as possible. Because trust me, the more bad data we get, the more bad models we're gonna have. If you are a data engineer or an AI enthusiast, please leave a comment down below. Just say your truth, man. If I'm talking garbage, you're more than welcome to say, nah, bro, you are talking garbage, and I'll take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, besides that, um, it's been crazy weeks, crazy days, and Yeah, I just want to talk about, some other few stuff. I've been, like I mentioned, I've been watching a lot of content, and people, they're making the glamorizing. Is it glamorizing? Is it glamorizing? The glamorizing. Being a software engineer or being a dev. I'm gonna be honest with you. It depends where you work. So if you're working with front end, you don't have any client facing, application that are running, or you don't maintain or work on core application, you're most likely to post every day. And I'm not saying that the guys do, actually. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is some of us don't post because we don't have time. We post because sometimes we are trying to figure things out and trying to solve bugs and trying to look, man. Programming is not easy. Software engineering is not easy either. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? And since now there's a lot of boot camps, looks like a lot of people are doing it, but it's not for everybody, if you know what I mean. But yeah, before somebody kills me, let me stop talking bad about people and just give you guys a quick recap of our week. It's been a crazy week, been a crazy month, been a crazy couple of days in terms of the releases that I've been working on. And one of the things that I've learned and I've started practicing is the systematic thinking and critical thinking, which is part of a soft skill. I think I've mentioned this in one of my videos. And I've realized that sometimes, if we don't have the systematic thinking as software developers, as software engineers, we tend to have a lot of blind spots. One of my colleagues has been talking about, whenever we do code reviews, we must always look for a blind spot. Like, you can easily get a runtime exception unless if you bulletproof your code, meaning that you make sure that you protect a specific variable that would cause a runtime exception. For example, if you have a Boolean wrapper class, that's gonna pass in, not a Boolean. Is it yes, a Boolean wrapper class. That's gonna pass in a number. Obviously, you would need to somewhat cater for that, but you also don't need to. But for good practice sake, cater for that, because you don't know what other issue it might cause. So just because it has a number, that doesn't mean it's true. Neither false. It's just that it has a number, which is an invalid number, which is an invalid accepted or expected behavior. So those are the things that you kind of sometimes overlook because you're dealing with Booleans, like it's going to be true or false. But it's not just the true or false, but it's the blind spot or what that can actually cause. And yeah, man, like, it's been one of those things that one had to learn the hard way. You're never a good developer until you meet other people that think differently from how you think. And I think that's one of my biggest highlight. Coding with systematic and critical thinking behind, and coding with an expectation of blind side. Yes, because if you think your code will always run successfully, that's a bad concept or bad principle, because no code runs perfectly all the time, especially if you're going to be consuming APIs from external parties. They change their contract every now and then without letting you know, and then all of a sudden the same API that we actually wait. So guys, version control. I've realized that a lot of people don't practice version control properly, and they also don't practice the HTTP request and response and statuses correctly. Some people just give you a 500 because there's an error, but 500 means something else. 201 means something else. 200 means something else. 404 doesn't mean that the data is not found. It only means that the URL or the path that you're trying to hit is not found. That's what it means. Just because there's no data, just return an empty list, man. Empty list of the status 200, so that I know that my call was successful, but I only got no data back. It's crazy how people just dab for the sake of dabbing. Actually, before I get killed, before I get beaten up, let me not bash people. But anyways, I think it's quite important that we understand what we're doing before we actually do it. And just because certain people were practicing it in a certain way, that doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. Great documentation. Okay, if this was done like this, how do I make it better? How do I improve it? And yeah, I think that's that for coffee session episode 4. It was all about renting, complaining, drinking coffee. Yeah, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. I talk too much.